Welcome, Leo. We're doing a love reading for you for December. We're going to get the tarot right away and start talking about you and that other person, or whichever relationship you might have going, whether you're single, kind of involved, or partnered. There's one card that fell, that turned. There's another card that fell, but it's not turned and it's kind of on the side. I am going to take it actually. You start with the King of Pentacles in reverse, and I'm going to grab that card here. That's the Empress. No, hold on. That's the Nine of Pentacles, but it came out in reverse. So two Pentacles in reverse here. I feel that you're in the Nine of Pentacles energy. You're showing a lot of independence, yet you're also showing a lot of a little bit of being too attached. I don't know what you're attached to. I'm not necessarily sure it's a person, actually. So it's kind of codependence, but it's not like within a relationship and being codependent on your emotions, or, you know, not being able to do anything, because it's the Nine of Pentacles. You're able to function on your own. You're independent. But you have a tie to something. You're... Let's see what these cards are. The Six of Cups, that's the tie, I think. You're tied to someone you know. This is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And this guy is the Page of Wands in reverse. Let me show you. The Six of Cups is the tie. You're thinking about someone. It's not just thinking. It's someone you frequent. It's someone you know. It's someone you've known for a long time. It's someone that you are familiar with. You're familiar with all their quirks. You're familiar with how they are. You're familiar with your own dynamic within that particular relationship. You know it inside out. For sure. There's this particular person, if they're the King of Pentacles here, well, I don't know if it's you, but let's say it's them. Okay, they're having a hard time in business. So you're very concerned about that. That's really interesting. I think it's a family member. So I was hoping for a love reading, like romantic, but it doesn't have to be necessarily family, but it could be. It could also be a soulmate, because we do have the Six of Cups. So it could be someone that you are... What I'm sensing is that it's someone with whom you've had maybe a relationship in the past. You might not be with them anymore. It could be the case. It could be that you still have this kind of thing for them. Because you're not fully cut off with the Nine of Pentacles. You're not fully... independent from them. So I don't know if you do depend on them for money or something, but they're lacking in money right now. The King of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles are in reverse. So there's a money situation here that is greatly overshadowing this whole love reading. There's a lack of... There's a lack of messages between the two of you. I want to say it's really weird. It's like you are talking to one another, but you're not telling yourself the real things. This is what's going on. So there's a little bit of a, it's almost like not really fully addressing the issues here. And I think it has to do with money. So it might be a partner with whom you are dependent on, maybe for money, for resources, or because you have things in common, something like that. It's not necessarily going super well here for one of you. I don't know if it's you. I think maybe it's them, Leo. I think they're really short on money and short on opportunities to make money. And they're not telling you. They're kind of, on the contrary, kind of pushing it under the rug. But that doesn't tell us much about the love piece between the two of you. I mean, obviously, there's not a good dialogue at the moment, so you might be sensing that. You might not know it's a money issue, right? That's creating this between the two of you. Please show us what's past the Page of Wands here. This card. The Eight of Swords. There's many ways to look at this. Obviously, the person is not talking because they're in their head about their money issues. That's the easy and first interpretation. There's something else though here. I think this person is having money problems or cash flow problems, or even a lack in developing the business, finding the clients. It feels because they're tied also. I mean, this whole reading is about being tied somewhere with something, to something, to someone, to a situation. There's like a sort of it feels they are contractually held elsewhere. It's like not being able to develop some of their business because they have themselves made agreements or they have obligations, contractual obligations that are keeping them from expanding, yet they need to expand. So the clauses are like curtailing their expansion or their opportunities. That's what's going on. And no one's saying anything. Everyone's pretending that it's like the blindfold on the Eight of Swords is even saying, no, we're in denial. There's a huge, I mean, this person, whoever has the contractual obligations, the lack of expansion, the money flow is difficult or low, they're choosing not to speak up. They're choosing maybe not to want to look at things too much, or you know what I mean? They're thinking about it big time, but there's something about not wanting to see the problem, or I mean choosing to look the other way, basically, simply because it's difficult for them. But there's something about being tied elsewhere, and I think it's Three of Pentacles. That's a good card though. It's a good card in terms of associations, work that works, that I think the obligations, the contractual obligations also involve other people. I'm telling you, it has to do with having signed something elsewhere, with having almost like a side hustle or a different, it doesn't have to be a side hustle. It's only part of the business is linked to maybe just one other person, or just a contract, another company, even from the outside. Okay, can you tell us, I'm going to put a card on the other side here about the love relationship. Tell us a little bit about Leo's love relationship with this person. What ends up happening, please, in December? You get a few cards. I'm going to take them all because I did ask the questions and I want to know the answers for you. 3 cards. Wow. Okay, this time, so all uprights, you get Death, the Empress, and you get the 3 of Wands. This is really excellent. You know, I think there's a huge transformation coming within this partnership. So whether it's on their side and their obligations are gonna maybe fall on the wayside or not, and eventually they'll be able to expand because the Empress is there. So there's an expansion either within your love relationship with this person and or with their own business affairs, right? Hence, making things easier between the 2 of you. There are opportunities that will come. They're still on the horizon. They're probably like beyond 2022, so into the new year. But there's a huge transformation in regards to the changes here. The changes related to expansion, to growth, to love, because it's the Empress, it's Venus. Maybe it has to do with eventually how this person, you know, even though they have contractual obligations elsewhere, those are still business endeavors. They're still, so they might, this other person, they might feel a lack of, you know, cash flow, whatever, like some just activity on the business, but eventually those other obligations, they something happens, everything kind of works out. Like maybe those contractual obligations are really beneficial. They're just also tying, right? They're like tying and trying at the same time. So they don't necessarily limit, they do create like parameters, right, within which this person is trying to operate their business, yet eventually it'll work out, it'll pick up, there will be more collaboration, more and it's funny, there's a 3 here and there's a 3 of Wands as well. So it also tells me that the direction is the same in terms of where this energy is going, whether it's in business, whether it's in love, they both sort of play in, or they one impacts the other clearly. But the growth is sensational. It's coming, but there is a huge change, and the change could be what I was describing about how eventually like the collaboration picks up, or there's a change in terms of how the work is being done and the teamwork, the exchanges there, and the obligations or the relationships within the business. That greatly advances things. It literally is this is the reason why somehow, as much as death seems like gloomy, it's not. In this case, it's what's needed, right? It's like a radical shift in, I think I want to say, it's a radical shift from trying to pretend and brush the problem under the rug, kind of being in denial about, okay, I'm having the money flow issues, I'm kind of tied between, like I have to respect some, whatever that is, with other parties, with other businesses. I don't know what the structure of your business is. It could be so many things. And yet eventually there's a change, there's a shift, there's like a change in how you maybe collaborate. There's another energy on the Three of Pentacles. It's about work well done, right? So maybe at some point there's something this person delivers that is really good. Like the game changer here, you know? The one thing that creates change, expansion. And you could also say that change is the expansion. Like, what comes first, really? It's almost like as if the bounty of the abundance on the Empress is just the fact that there's the opportunities are coming. They were just maybe not there prior. I think they were kind of not there in December, but I really think that it changes at the end of the month or during the month. And then in terms of 2023, what's out there for you is even bigger. And I'm wondering, I haven't said it yet, but what if this relationship is a business partnership as well, right? Because there's so much money involved. And like I said, there's maybe something about that it's tied between the two of you. It ties you, basically. It's part of how you relate with this person. You have some, like I said, assets in common, or there's something there. So let me draw a makeshift card. It's just a keyword. I'm actually gonna pull it. Weave a story. I think this is the Three of Pentacles energy. There's something that your partner does, Leo, or that you do, whichever. The change is storytelling. it's about, you know, if obviously if you're in marketing, you're in storytelling for sure. You know, it's for me, it's a direct equation here. So there's something about how you market yourself, how what you're saying to people, what you want your story to be, you know, basically exposing your mission, your values, what you believe in, what you're selling, what is it about, you know, like all of that. It's a business read. It's crazy. I'm supposed to be doing a love reading, and it's more of a business read, but at the same time, this basically this is a partnership in business. It could even be a family business. It's really interesting. There's a lot here. There's I just did Capricorn before you, and the reading had this same strange layers to that. Like, it's not just wanting to speak about love for some reason. There's like there were other components, and I get the same thing here. Same sort of multifaceted reading. I'm going to draw a love oracle out of this particular deck. I will read a quick excerpt. Whatever you put out there in terms of whatever story, it pays off because the Empress is on the table. Okay, there's two cards that fell, that turned, I should say. We're going to keep them. I like this. The charm of simplicity. I think that's really important when you weave a story. And then you get jealousy and possessiveness. I'm telling you, you have to go see the Capricorn reading I just did, because they had gossip. And there's a little bit of that. I mean, this is not gossip per se, but there's something about jealousy. And so for me, sometimes when people gossip, it's because they're jealous, but not always. But it's the only reason I brought it up. But you don't have to go watch that reading if it doesn't appeal to you. So let's read out of the book. The jealousy, I wonder, could be maybe you know, at the beginning I was telling you that for me, you're the Nine of Pentacles right from the start, right? That you were independent, but you still had some ties to this person. So I wonder if those ties are about, you know, being possessive about this person when they're in business or when they do business. Although we saw that their business was kind of having a hard time, right? Like they were going through a hard time, maybe with either financially or just with having more activity on the business. But let's read The Charm of Simplicity, the love story. So let's focus on the love portion of this reading, which is slim, but let's do that. So the love story. Two souls had found love, and now life was simple. The lovers sat around idly, lounging around, relaxing the day away. All they needed was each other, presence, beauty, bliss. It was so simple, just each moment. Enjoying, playing, savoring, and sipping from the cup of life. It was as simple as 3 words, I love you. You know, maybe that's the tie I was describing. You might have had more time with this person before they got caught up with, you know, if their business is having a bit of a hard time, like, or is in difficulty, or quote unquote in difficulty, then they're going to have to put in a lot of time and energy towards that, and then maybe leave you on the side a little bit. So it could be what you're sensing, could be what I was picking up about you having ties with this person. Although I think the ties are about soulmate energy, family, or partnership. There's like something there. This is a longtime friend. This is someone you've known. That's also the this other energy. I will bother to read the other card. So the love story on jealousy and possessiveness reads, "She is mine and mine alone, clothed in the skins of an animalistic being, down to the root and the core, indulging in base primal instincts. She knew she needed to protect her turf and secure her prize." They're describing the figure that is clothed here. So it was unhealthy to say the least, but the jealousy and possessiveness that lived within her came to the fore and showed their teeth. She never stopped to ask herself who she was really hurting until it was too late. So maybe that plays in between the two of you in terms of holding on really strongly to this person while they're maybe caught up with trying to do their work. It could be, you know, to be honest, in terms of business, it could be the competition on the market, just that jealousy and possessiveness could be simply that kind of energy where people are envious just because, you know, they want to do well, they see other people doing well. It could be that. But the charm and simplicity for me is the shift. It's when everything goes better with the Empress, everything will start flowing again, whether in love and business. I want to say both. When that sort of eases down, gets better, when there's more collaboration. Actually, on this card, there cannot be any jealousy or envy, because if you're going to work on a team, you need to put those emotions, dark emotions aside. Anyways, I'll leave the reading here. I'll close it now. Hopefully something resonated in here for you. Somehow, somewhere. If so, you can like the video, you can share, you can subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Good night.